As we just mentioned, Indiana is one state where Republicans believe that they can pick up at least one seat if the borders of congressional districts are changed. Joining us now is Republican representative from Indiana, Marlin Stutzman. Representative Stutzman, good to see you again. A few weeks ago on X, you said that this is the moment to give conservative Hoosiers the representation in D.C. they deserve. Republicans already control 7 of the 9 House seats allocated to Indiana. Is that not enough in a state where almost 40% of the electorate voted for Kamala Harris?
Well, Linsey, great to be with you. You know, I would say look at Massachusetts. Massachusetts is a state that has 9 districts as well, and it's 9 Democrats to 0 Republicans. If you look at the state next to us to the west, Illinois, if you want to see what a gerrymandered district looks like, they have gerrymandered their districts to where it's only 2 Republicans out of 17 districts. And it was definitely a gerrymandered district because it kind of looks like a snake or a dragon head throughout the middle of the state. And one of the other things that I think is really important to remember is that Indiana, we're not a sanctuary state. You know, states like California, Illinois, New York, they do count those who are here in this country, who are non-citizens, illegal in the country, into the census. So that gives them another advantage compared to states like Indiana. And I think that that's something that needs to be discussed and talked about, and making sure that Hoosiers have equal representation properly in Washington, D.C., and not be at a disadvantage compared to states like Illinois or California.
We know state lawmakers visited the White House last month, spending time primarily with Vice President J.D. Vance, ostensibly to discuss redistricting. Can you share what the plan was that was discussed?
Yeah, well, I mean, there wasn't really much of a plan talked about as much as there was about the policy that the Trump administration has been focusing on, especially partnering with the states. You know, $37 trillion of debt is really the noose that's around our neck, and that's something that we're going to have to fix. And as they talked about the policies that they want to implement, they eventually talked about redistricting and what happened in Illinois and other states across the country that put us at a huge disadvantage. And again, this is about our voters, about our constituents, that we're trying to find equal representation across the country. And that's why I think redistricting in Indiana is the proper thing to do to rebalance that.
If certain state Republicans don't go along with a plan to redistrict, would there be an attempt to primary them?
I don't think so. I think that the conversation is really about the policies that we want to focus on, what the Trump agenda is, and then also just realizing that there is an imbalance between how we drew the maps in Indiana. Now, look, you could probably have a kindergarten class draw the maps in Indiana and end up with a 9-0 Republican balance. But if you look at the maps, since the maps were drawn, we have had, and this goes again to show the difference between policy in Illinois versus policy in Indiana, we've had over 100,000 people move from Illinois directly into Indiana up in the northwestern part of the state. And so I think that's another reason that we should have this conversation, because there has been definitely a move where people are moving to states like Indiana.
Representative Stutzman, so good to have you on the show. Always appreciate your insight. Thank you.
Thank you. Great to be with you.